Kaboom. A shower nozzle with the rope extension on it. You know, the hose extension on it. We're going to install that today. That's our project for today. If you want to see that, stick around. Well, I'm over at my pop's house, and yes, we've got to install that in the shower so it helps him take easier showers. Okay, here's the shower head up there. He usually has a little shower seat in there, and that way he can take the handheld wand and wash himself that way instead of having this pour down on top of him. Okay, so we went to the store and got this. Now this shower nozzle, it's got the hose on there, and you can get elaborate ones that swing on that go up and down like on a rod. See that rod there? That little hand rod. Let's get you moved in there so you can see that. See that? Sometimes they have something like that rod there, and then you can slide it up and down on that, and you can hold it right there. But that's a grab bar in here. Now I could have got a rod one and stuck it over there to the left a little bit, but you know, that was going to cost more. And I talked to my mother, and she said this other one was fine. It cost me like $30, and so that's what we're going to install. They went all the way up. I saw one, no joke, $109. I saw one, and I saw them down as low as $20, you know. So this one here should last, I'm hoping. And see, it's kind of a nickel finish, and I did that because the shower head up there is kind of like a nickel finish. It's not bright brass, it's not oil rub bronze, it's not gold or anything like that. So I looked at that first. I'm glad I did, because it's always nice to match existing conditions. You know how I am. See here? That's the color we're gonna install. I guess the first thing I need to do is get in there and take that little rack down and get up there, and we're gonna remove this shower nozzle, shower head. Let's be careful with this thing here. Put that off here to the side. Now, different shower heads run slightly differently. You just have to look at yours, and it's got a couple flat edges on it. If I had a crescent wrench, I would use the crescent wrench on here. Now see that? Right there. Right there, there's a flat spot on there, and there's another flat spot on this side. So you take a crescent wrench and right there and turn it. That way you don't goober this all up. I don't have the crescent wrench, so I'm gonna take a pair. Well, I got some pliers here, but I've got some vice grips. Vice grips. I got some channel locks. Here's my channel locks, and see, I can adjust it however, and I can latch onto that, and if I'm careful, I can grab onto it and not mark it up at all. Now, if you feel like you need to, you could put a rag on there, you know, and wow, that's on there tight. I'm gonna have to get up there higher. I might stick a rag on that too, because I don't want to wrench my back out of whack or anything. So I got to get up there higher so I can get this puppy off. Look what I found in the garage. A crescent. Some people call this a spanner wrench. Look how big this one is as compared to this one. Now, if you only have a small one, yeah, you could probably do it with a lot of force. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to latch onto it with that, and I should be able to have no problem getting it off now. if I get up here higher, I think I'll have an easier go out of it. Let me get situated here. There it goes. Wow, that was on there. So see, most of them, even if you look and see that it's round, usually you'll see little flat areas on there for a crescent wrench. And if you're going to use a channel lock or the vice grips or a big fat pair of pliers, still try to look for that, okay? Because you may want to reinstall this later. You know, I always like to save stuff. You know, no sense marking it all up, especially, you know, if this was anodized bronze, let's say, or something like that, you'd scratch it all up getting it off, right? Okay. Well, that's your first step. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to open this up. More than likely, I'm going to have to use some Teflon tape. And see, I've got a little container of it right here. This is something good that you always want to have with you. The Teflon tape doesn't cost very much. Any hardware store you can get that. But I'm looking inside this container here, and what do you suppose they gave us? Look at that. They gave us a little bit of Teflon tape. Wasn't that nice of them? Now, even, you know, lots of times shower companies will do that nowadays. But if you mess up with this or wrap on just a hair too much, maybe you don't have enough for your entire project. So I always still like to have some of this Teflon tape around just in case I need it. You never know. Now once you pull something like this apart, this one looks fairly straightforward, okay? But I still would encourage you to read the directions just in case you're wondering what to do, because we're going to have to attach the ends on here, and I've got some cutters here for that. And see, here's my washers, and I'm going to have to put a washer on both ends of this. I'm going to take a look at that. Looks like this plastic thing comes off. Looks like that's just a protector. Shower arm bracket. Attach this end. Must attach to shower arm bracket. Okay, which is this one here. Okay, I'm going to look at the directions anyways, because, you know, you may get something like this. What difference would it make in reality? You know, it looks like both of them are the same, right? Look, both ends look the same, except under a little bit more scrutiny. This one here, the one that attaches to a shower arm bracket, see all those holes? And look at this one. It's just got one fat hole. All right? So does it make a difference? Yeah, I guess it would. Okay, now with this, I'm gonna just have to kind of straighten it out, but you want to make sure you're kind of careful with this. The last thing you want to do is kink this. And I'm going to kind of work on that a little bit and get this a little bit straight so it can kind of hang straight. And after time, you don't have to worry, you don't have to get it perfect. You know what I mean? It's going to set kind of funky for a little bit until it kind of sets there for a while. Plus, once you get hot water through it, that's going to kind of help straighten it out too. And while you're in there taking a shower, you can kind of mess with it a little bit. And eventually, it's just going to run straight down and straight back up like a big U, unlike something like this. Do you know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna keep working on that, and I'm gonna read the directions and get right back to you. You know, on this, you can take that upside down and just run it back and forth and kind of do this sort of business, you know? You see it? And that kind of helps. Last thing you want to do is push this back too far, thinking, oh, I'll fix that, and then you kind of flatten this. You could possibly flatten this out. You know, I've done that once upon a time, quite a few years ago, to somebody's, but it was still working fine, so I didn't even say a word. You know, it kind of came out of the box that way, and I should have been a little bit careful with it, and I was trying to be as careful as possible. So I don't really think I did it, but I should have seen it and been a little bit more careful with it anyways, okay? All right, keep it going. Now once you have the shower head off, if you have any gummed up threads here or any old Teflon tape, now's the time to clean that off. You need to clean that all off. Now I'm going to take this Teflon tape, and it says to put it on in a clockwise direction. There's always a right and wrong way to do stuff, right? Clockwise, okay? That way when you get ready to tighten the shower head on there, it's going the same direction as this tape, because if you put the tape on the very opposite direction, going the other way, as you tighten it up, it's going to want to kind of pull off the threads just a little bit. And I looked on the directions, and this Teflon tape, we're only going to put it on this threaded top piece, okay? I got plenty on there now. The 4 or 5 zips all the way around that. And I'm good there. That looks good. I've got a little bit of extra Teflon tape. I can use that for something else. Okay. Now on this, it comes with the washer. Make sure the washer is down in there. The thing I've noticed about this head here, it's all plastic, unlike the shower head that I took off. Okay? Which tells me once I tighten that up, I got to be real careful. I don't want to over tighten it. I don't want to over tighten that, because if I over tighten plastic, guess what happens? It cracks. And we don't want that. Okay, so I got to be real careful with that. I'm just going to tighten it up snug.